Good evening, everyone. We're going to try to go ahead and get started. I know we got some few people still coming in, but I know your time is precious. I do appreciate you being here on a beautiful Tuesday, right? We can all be outside doing something else, but we're in here today. We're going to make this time worth your while. If you have something you want to scan the QR code, then you're going to have access to everything that we're presenting. We will send this out as well on the app. So I do want to thank all of you that are already attentive to the Hardin County Schools app and you're getting those messages. We have been trying to use that. That will be our primary form of communication with everyone. Okay, that Hardin County Schools app. You can find it on the App Store. Fairly simple for you to navigate that. All right, okay. I want to make sure I'm on the right page here. Raise a hand, students, raise your hands. If when you saw my message sent out about doing dual enroll that you were able to get that completed. Oh, it's not enough hands. Okay. All right. Maybe we'll try this one. Raise your hands if you didn't see my message. Right, okay, all right. So let's get the HCS app. We need to make sure we're using it. Okay, this is the form of communication Hardin County Schools is using to communicate with you and your parents, right? That is what the legislators have said we have to use, so we are using that. You need to download the app and make sure that you're in that group, all right? We have them separated by high school, so we'll send messages out to Central, John, and North. Based off of that, and parents, you will receive that exact same message that your kid gets. We can also use it just to individually message with your child as well. But the very first step in this process is to make sure that you create a dual enroll account. So today, already you've got papers. We are way ahead in this process than we've ever been. I see a lot of familiar faces with some parents in here. Welcome back. Right? Now you're on child 2 or 3 or whatever it may be coming through this program. So you can probably stand up here for me and give this presentation. But the process has changed a little bit, and this is the biggest first step we have to do. So with that account, students, you will be able to take care of enrolling yourself into the courses that we have slotted you for. Okay? The papers that we have are, I would not say they're in concrete, but they're firming up. Okay? So we can definitely have some conversations if we need to have them, but we definitely want to be able to take care of that. Now, step 2 on here, regarding your scores, ACT, SAT, we'll take care of all those, okay? We'll take care of transcripts. You don't have to worry about any of that when it comes to your enrollment. All we need you to do is do the dual enroll step first. And so if you're a student that was already taking some courses, especially here like at EC3 or maybe at your home high school under some career technical areas, you probably already have an account. And you just need to make sure that you can log back into it. All right? Now, getting into the heart of what we're doing, remember that your child is getting ready to take on college while a junior in high school. Okay? Taking on college while you're a junior in high school. Every student in this program will take similar courses. I don't want to say exactly the same, but they will take similar courses along the way. We do have some discrepancy a little bit for some students where they get to maybe pick where they start their math course because maybe they've already taken one. We do have some say-so in science, and that was all part of that pre-advising that I sent out. And I want to tell you, I'm very proud of our students that everyone was able to get that completed prior to today, which helped us get our schedules created. So that's a great job. We are at the largest group that we've ever had. Okay, I said it last year, and I'll say it again now this year. We have accepted 114 students in this group. We said 100. Well, we actually went over I had a conversation with our Board of Education, our superintendent, and we had approval to go over that number. So we did. Now, if you, because I know some of you are going to go back, you have some friends that are saying, hey, when you get done with that meeting, come tell me about it, because I'm still waiting. We may accept a few more. There's no guarantee. I had 3 students within the last couple of weeks that backed out. They were accepted, and they changed their mind, which is fine. We know that there are probably some students in this group that may be waiting on Gatton or Craft. We got some in here? Anybody applying to Gatton or Craft? A couple of you, yeah. And I'll tell you right off, if you get in there, congratulations. Go for it. Right? Get an opportunity for a residential opportunity in one of those great schools, you take it. Okay? And someone will be very happy that you might give up your spot. So when that happens, just communicate. Just let us know. Okay? So we may take on a few more. But as we're doing this process, okay, like I said, your students will take on these courses, and some of you might have English this semester. Some of you might have a math class. We typically separate our students by English or math so that they can have one of our teachers. And I think they're probably still out here signing people in. Mr. Ernst is our English teacher, and Ms. Thompson, oh, there's Mr. Ernst back there in the back on the large screen here. And Ms. Thompson, I think, was outside helping people sign in. She's our math teacher. So it helps us to get to know our students a little better by making sure if they have one of those 2 teachers during the semester. So that's typically how we split them. Not always right down the middle, but it's relatively close to that. We do English 101 our junior year, English 102 our senior year. Okay? If a student wanted to get 101 and 102 done this year, they could, but that means they have to take English 161. You'll see it listed down here under humanities. They would have to take that their senior year. They have to have an English class every year of school. That's what the state of Kentucky says. And the same goes for math. Sometimes we get a student that takes college algebra 150. They take trig in the spring. They still have to take something in the fall or spring of their senior year. So a lot of times they take stats or maybe something above. The other courses that you're going to see, you might have COM in the fall, you might have it in the spring. And again, as you're sitting around the tables, you'll get to compare some schedules with other people around you. And you'll see, not everyone's the same, but there might be some of you that you're like, oh, we have math and psychology and history together. Yeah, a lot of times that starts to happen because we kind of cohort students, okay? We kind of start grouping them a little bit. So understand that this process has been fleshed out for the last few years, and it works, okay? I do want to introduce you to a couple other people over here from ECTC. This is Miss Allison Hay and Mr. Patrick Gray. They are part of our ECTC dual credit team. Our relationship with ECTC is fantastic. It's crucial for our partnership with them. So students, you will get to see them a lot. There's a couple other members of their team as well that you might see. They are here to assist and help with the process of getting our students in courses and successfully completing those courses. Also, another person I want to introduce you to, Miss Jenny Kaufman. She's our counselor here at EC3. She does everything revolving the schedule, from helping with the ECTC schedule to making sure our students are finishing pathway courses or maybe even home high school classes. That's what she does. Okay, so students, you're fortunate you have a counselor at your high school, plus now you have Ms. Kaufman here. And then Mr. Coomer, our assistant principal, he's around here somewhere, helping probably get some chairs out, is our assistant principal here, okay? And if I didn't say this in the very beginning, I'm Dan Robbins and I'm the principal. So welcome. We're trying to get some more chairs out. Thank you all. I apologize. It's a larger group than we thought would actually show up tonight. I have a lot saying they couldn't make it. Science class. Let me jump into that real quick. When you fill out that pre-scheduling form, you kind of gave us some indication of what you wanted to do as a science class. Now, you have some flexibility here. We might talk a little today, and you might change your mind, okay? Most of you all as high school sophomores, just by a show of hands, how many of you are taking biology this school year? By show of hands, students. Biology. That's it? Oh, okay. All right, how about chemistry? How many of you are in chemistry? All right, there we go. All right. Show of hands, how many are taking anatomy? Couple, okay. Anybody taking anything else other than that? What do you take? Environmental? Yeah, there's a few doing that. What about physics? Any physics? Okay. So you have to take science for 3 years. You take your freshman year, take your sophomore year, then you take your third class. And what we try to do is we try to match up with what we think you want to do one day that makes the most sense. Obviously down here in the lower corner, anatomy, bio 135. Bio 135 is anatomy. That is for our students that are pursuing things in the health sciences career. Okay? If you're pursuing something in health science, you should be signing up for anatomy. That's what you should have told us. Bio 112, 113 is for students that are like, I know I got to take science. Biology's cool. I took it in high school. I don't mind taking it again. So it would be kind of like a step up from a high school level biology course. The next one in the middle is chemistry. Okay? That's going to be for our students that are pursuing STEM careers. Engineering is our biggie. Okay? Something like that. That's going to be our chemistry. This is a little tougher of a course. Would equate a little bit to kind of like AP Chem type stuff. The next one over on the side is our geology class. It's Earth's Physical Environment. It's actually a new one that we're offering going into this school year. See, ECTC is getting ready to go through a big construction change, kind of like what you even see out back for us. And they're losing some of their lab spaces. And so in losing some lab spaces, they're shifting a lot of their science labs to old East Hardin Middle School. And so with that happening, that means our students would have to be transported over there. Well, it's not feasible, really, for us here. So they have this Earth Physical Environment class that they're going to be able to offer a lab on campus. So we're shifting gears a little bit to offer this. We used to offer a, Chem 120, 125, a very, very basic chemistry. Like almost, I'd kind of say it's like middle school chemistry. It's really low. Obviously it's college level, but content-wise, that's the type of curriculum. So we shifted for this one. But if you still just want something like that, we can offer it. Okay? If you're like, just give me the easiest there is, I don't really like science, we could offer that. So a lot of those courses, we're looking to offer those in the spring, okay? As far as the geology and the chemistry 120 and the bio. Our courses will operate on a 16-week calendar. Trimesters are 12 weeks, right? The college operates on 16 weeks, fall and spring. So our fall classes start August 17th, and they end December 13th. Anyone can tell me what is the first day of school for Hardin County Schools next year?
August 7th.
Is it August 7th?
It's either 7th or 8th.
I think it's 6th or 7th, right? It's one of
Whatever the 6th.
All right, so, but I'm sorry, students, you still arrive on the first day of school for Hardin County Schools. Okay? We use the time between the first day of Hardin County Schools and the first day of ECTC courses to get to know you. Okay? It's very important for our academy students to really get to know each other well. They're going to spend a lot of time together. Okay? We do a lot of icebreakers to get to know you. We talk about a very important thing that we do here called our year-long project. So we get some brainstorming going around it. But you will be in school, students, okay? So you will report. Now, you'll hear this multiple times, but you will report to your home high school on their very first day of school. Now, your schedule, if you get printed, will probably list ECTC. That'll be what it says in Infinite Campus. But you still report to your home high school, then you'll come here, and then we'll take care of your college class schedule, all right? That's going to be a little bit of the difference between for that time. Now, when your courses end on December 13th, I think we have another week for Hardin County Schools for Christmas break. Now, we spend that time allowing students to do some job shadowing. They can do some volunteering out in the community. Obviously, there's a lot around the holidays and things like that going on. So our students will have some opportunities. Obviously, there'll be a lot of talks about that leading up to it, but you might not physically be in our building after December 13th, but you're still in school doing something, okay? Now, I also point out the 8-week classes. ECTC started doing these a few years ago, and they've been pretty successful with them. So they are available to our students. We might not do a lot of them, but they are available to our students. Sometimes it makes sense for our students to do those because of how their trimester schedule works. So if students are taking classes in the afternoon at the home high school, or maybe here at EC3 in the afternoon, they want a little more schedule balance, and so we might give them a class for the first 8 weeks that will end before their second trimester class starts. Gives a little balance. So it is nice to be able to have those 8-week courses in there for students. Sometimes it helps a student that maybe is involved in athletics. And maybe their sports season is a little busier, so they're like, hey, I'll take this in the second 8 weeks once football ends. You know? Or I'll take this in the first 8 weeks before basketball starts. Or marching band season really does this, so give me some time here. You know, we'll be flexible, we'll work with you, but some of those types of things you're going to have to communicate with us about, because sometimes you might have told us in the very beginning between the two of these. You look here, between these, all right? Start looking. There's a lot of similarity between here and here. All right, they start to differ a little bit down here in the additional requirements between the 2 degrees. All right, that's where they differ a little bit. Who gets what? Again, it's based on what our students want and what they think they're going to try to pursue towards their bachelor's degree. Obviously, students in the STEM careers and those types of things are going to end up more in the Associates of Science. Okay? All right, moving on to the next one here. The course syllabus. I like to talk a lot about the course syllabus because this is the contract between your child and their professor for the grade and the requirements of the course. That course syllabus is important to note. Look at it, study it, note down important stuff from it so that you don't get caught in a bind at some point. I encourage you as parents, when your students bring home the course syllabi, to take a look at it with them. Maybe point out some things that you're noticing. Help them to get themselves organized. We will spend time with them, but it's important that you also have some of those conversations with them. Some of the most important things are like test dates, maybe the last day to submit your final exam, those types of things, pretty important dates, all right? Grades. In college, the grade that students earn will be based off of the points or whatever they need that is indicated on the syllabus. Now, for most of our college classes, they operate on a 90 to 100 scale. A 90 gets you an A. Okay, most. Now, there are some college professors that might say a 95 is an A. Again, each professor gets to say what makes an A. Some might say it's 1,000 points. Has nothing, there's nothing else in there. 1,000 points gets you an A. Once you reach those points, you can stop doing all the work because you got an A. Again, the syllabus will say it. We take the grade that the students earn, and we put that on the high school transcript. But the only thing that gets reported to us is an alphabetic grade. Okay? 2 students. One student earns a 90, and they get reported an A. The other student gets a 99, and they get reported an A. Both of those students on their high school transcript will see an A, 100. They both get translated to the highest alphabetic grade you can get because that's all that's reported to us. We don't decipher between the numeric because they don't give it to us. Does that make sense? So you get the benefit. Now, it's very important, though, that the student understands that sometimes the grades aren't all coming from the Blackboard account, okay? There might be something else that the student or the teacher uses, like, for instance, what is your math, Ms. Thompson, math labs? MyLab, called MyLab. All right, and so one grade might be reported in Blackboard, and then the other teacher might be using like MyLabs, and then those 2 grades get combined, and that's how the grade gets put in. And so one student might say, well, Blackboard said I had an A, but you know MyLab grade was like a C, and why did I get a C? Well, again, how the professor does it based off the syllabus is how the grade is determined. We just get what they report. We don't see the Blackboard grade. We get what they report. Now, we are on top of grades with our students doing grade checks. We do a couple of grade checks every semester, fall and spring, to help kind of track our students. How are they doing? But we do them in reverse, okay? Parents, we ask that you are active participants in this. So here is the page that you will see. We will send this home. Your kids will pick it up. And you will fill it out with your student after looking at their courses with them in Blackboard. And you will fill it out, and then the student will bring it in. We just did this last week. We had grade checks last week for our students. And then if our students are reporting any grades that you might see, right, and they're below a C, then we make a phone call. Now, yeah, you signed it, student signed it, turned it in, but we're still just checking in. We want to make sure that everyone is on the same page. Have we ever seen one that appears to have a parent's signature on it that the parent didn't sign? Of course. And we have a good conversation about it. Do we have sometimes that the kid comes in on Friday when the grade checks are due, and the kid's scrambling because they didn't get the parent to sign, and they call parents and say, these are my grades, and the parent says, just sign it, it's fine. Yeah, that happens too. At the end of the day, I'm not looking for forgery. I'm looking for verification. Are you on the same page? That's it. Okay? We're not calling if we see A, B's, or C's. It's D's or F's that we're calling about. Okay? Any parents in here want to admit that they check Infinite Campus a lot? Yeah, that's fine. My wife does too. She's unsuccessful at this point because our youngest child's a junior in this program. But you can't see anything in there anymore. Get ready for that. Okay? Infinite Campus will not report anything related to your child's grades for ECTC. Okay? It's just there. So, you need to make sure you're having these active conversations with your student about their grades. I know there's a lot of trust that's flowing there, right? And it's great, as long as that trust isn't broken. So, if you're not checking your students' grades, and then we get a grade report, and you apparently signed it, and then we call, and you're like, what? Man, it's going to be a rough conversation for when your student gets home, I know. We're going to have a rough conversation in my office as well, or Mr. Coomer's, because we expect them to be on top of things. Now, it happens, guys. I'm just going to tell you. I know there's a lot of students here. We've got a lot of great students in here, right? These 4.0 GPAs, fantastic. There may be a 4.0 GPA that doesn't make it through the junior year. Okay? And that's not because your student stopped trying. It's because they just took on a little bit more rigor, and it just got harder. Now, how many students in here can admit that they rarely study? Thank you guys. I appreciate that. That was me. I was the exact same way. And I almost flunked out my first year of college because I had no clue how to study. Okay? You will learn how to study. Okay? What just came naturally, that you can just sit down and be like, I was here for all the classes, it becomes a little different, right? So we hope that no GPAs are tarnished. Obviously, that's great. We still average a 3.75 GPA in this program. Okay, that's great. That is higher than the freshman average of college GPA by a lot. So we still average that. We're still there. The senior year drops off a little bit. We're sitting about 3.56, somewhere 3.55. It drops off a little bit. Seniors, love seniors, right? Sometimes forget that they're still in school. So, but anyway, again, parents, don't check out when your kid turns to be a senior. FYE. How many have heard about our summer class? Yeah, FYE. First year experience. It is a summer class. I think that price is still pretty close to that, okay? This class, unfortunately, does not meet the same criteria that the Council of Post-Secondary Education gives for all dual credit classes for transferability. Now, I can tell you that I've seen it on a lot of students' transcripts transferring to said colleges like University of Louisville and UK, unless they're transfers in. But for some reason right now, it's not recognized the same. And so the Council of Post-Secondary Education doesn't allow us to discount this class at 50%. So Dr. Pate and his team at ECTC knocked off 1/3 of the cost. Okay? So that's where that cost is. And that includes digital content fees and maybe it's missing digital content fees. Okay. So unfortunately, this price is a little high. Now, the other side of it, you can elect to not take this course, but you will be taking an online course that we put together through our online platform that we have. It's not for college credit, but it is still a way to check readiness for college. It's a college and career readiness prep course, and that's the same thing what FYE does. This course, though, is required if you want to earn your associate's degree. It is a required course by ECTC. So, if after we're all said and done with this and you didn't like out of it, obviously we'll just have a conversation and we'll set you up the other way. Now, the course runs from June 1st to July 26th. That is the 8 weeks of summer. For the most part, I believe the course is wide open, meaning on June 1st, the student will have access to the entire curriculum, meaning that students can work ahead as long as they work and complete work by the due date that is assigned for those weekly assignments. So if it's during week 1 and you're already on week 3 assignments, you can submit. The problem is if it's week 4 and you're trying to submit week 3, that is not okay. It will be a 0. So work ahead, don't work behind. Okay? Students ask us all the time because like, man, I don't want to work on while we're on vacation. Well, just work ahead. But if you have to take your device with you on vacation, find a little bit of time to take care of it. Again, Wi-Fi is everywhere, right? I'll take all questions at the end. I know there's going to be a ton. So these are a couple slides that I have in here. Listen, I hit this big with our kids before they even applied. They're in here. Okay, obviously you understand that your personal freedoms in this program, you get more of them. Okay? And we are happy for you to have those as long as you're doing everything you're supposed to do. When you start lacking is when we start pulling back. It's that simple. College professors and high school teachers are different. Even our instructors would probably tell you that they teach a little different with our program. Not a lot, but a little. The reminder of homework and all this stuff and review, and it starts to go out the door, okay? You have a syllabus, it has due dates, you're expected to meet them. You know when a test is because it was in the syllabus. Test on Wednesday, is it on the board on Monday in big red letters? Maybe not. It may be up in the corner, or maybe it's not. Okay, again, it's just a little bit of different approach. In college, sometimes, you have homework and things to do, and there may not ever be a discussion about it. In high school, we often talk about homework and how'd you do and those types of things. Students will get 2 classes that will be scholarshiped. And they can choose when they use those scholarships. They can use them in the fall, they can use them in the spring, one in the fall, one in the spring, both in the spring, their choice. We will help them set that preference with their Kia account. Now on top of that, if they're taking courses that fall under the work-ready model, for instance, our health science courses a lot fall underneath that. Other courses like in education or some technology courses, criminal justice, there's a lot of different courses that fall under career technical. Your student gets 2 of those a year as well. Every one of our students, again, show of hands, who has BAS 120 on their schedule? A lot of you, right? That class can be scholarship. That's personal finance. That's personal finance class, okay, which is a class that everyone must have in the state of Kentucky before they graduate. We just go ahead and do it in this model because it's scholarship, right? So BAS 120 is one that you can use a scholarship on. Another class that kids use scholarship on a lot in this program is CIT 105, which is a digital literacy course. Some of you may have already taken that in high school. Again, it's a work-ready eligible course. All right, so we will continue to help our students with that. The one on the far right, additional support. I'm very excited to say that our district has continued to offer financial support for students that meet free and reduced lunch eligibility. Okay? So if you fall into that category, that means you just need to make sure that your family continues to fill out the form that is required for free reduced lunch. And then as long as your student maintains that 3.0 GPA and passes all courses with A, B, or C, then they will receive those courses. Now, anyone stay up with our legislators? Anyone paying attention to things in the news? Anyone heard of House Bill 1? House Bill 1? Okay. House Bill 1 is the federal tax credit that people can get, right, for basically putting money in funds that help students in school. Now, there's a lot of talk out there about, well, that's the private school thing and all that thing. Well, it's not. It doesn't just say private school. So I am working right now with Central Kentucky Community Foundation. It's our local group. Their building is actually right over here. They're a fantastic group. They're our local 501c3, right? And we're going to work with them, and we're going to set it up to where families can contribute that money and receive that federal tax credit, all right, to be able to help offset some costs for our students. So we're looking to try to capitalize on things that are happening down in Frankfort. So I will keep you all abreast of anything that happens with that. But if you want some fun reading, look it up. Read it. All right, program policies and student rights. And we're going to get to the fun stuff. We're almost there. All right, attendance. Basically say this. You're required to be here. Okay? It does not matter if your schedule says that you don't have a class on Monday, Wednesday at 10:30. You're still required to be here. Okay? It doesn't matter if it says that you don't have a class starting at 9 a.m. You're still required to be here. Attendance is mandatory in this program. Obviously, you have doctor's appointments, just turn in the notes, right? We know that those happen. But it's also very important, parents, that if you're having to schedule orthodontists and those types of things, maybe schedule in the afternoon when they have their study time, when they're doing their study skills. Okay? That's a great time. They're not missing a physical class. So you will get to know what your student schedule is, and you can work on that. FERPA. Always mention FERPA. Your student is a high school student, but in the world with ECTC, they will only talk to your student. Okay? Now, your student has the opportunity in their account to give you a passcode and give you access to certain things so that if you wanted to call and talk to somebody, that you could get some limited information. And again, we'll help your student to navigate what that is, have to put in a passcode and all of those fun things. But FERPA is something that is very serious. Some daily stuff. We always offer breakfast and lunch. It's served daily here. We serve breakfast until 8:50, lunches until noon. Students have to, they get out, most classes 11:45, they got to go get lunch. They can't just go sit around and think, oh, the lunch line closed. It will close. Okay? Transportation, always a big question. Buses will continue to run from all of our schools, our home high schools, Central, John, and North, and will bring you here. No bus runs from a house to here. They run to the high school, and then the high school transfer bus, and then you'll bring you here. And if you're going back home after, you get on a bus at the end of the day, takes you back to your high school, then you get on your bus to go home. Okay? Logistics, we have it's down to a science at this point. All right, so transportation will continue to be provided for all of your students. However, we know that with changes to law, there's probably a lot of students in this room that will be driving a lot sooner than the juniors that we have now. So students can drive here. You have to get a parking pass. Okay? Our parking pass is just $5. The students can drive here, and we have a parking lot. We'll sign you a parking spot and all that good stuff. So you can. Parents, you can also pick up and drop off your students here in the morning. We ask that all students arrive by 8:40 a.m. That is later than any of our start times for our high school. 8:40 is when they must be in our building to not be counted tardy. Sometimes our buses are still arriving here during that 8:40 time slot, but we're accounting for them because they're on a Hardin High School bus. All right, but yes, you can drop your students off, and you can pick them up out front as well. Our study areas, we're continuing to find different areas and spaces for our kids. Obviously, our building is it's closing in on us a little bit. We're getting pretty packed. That's why we've got construction getting ready to start out back for a new part of our building. But we have study areas that we will direct our students to in the afternoon if they choose to stay here during 4th and 5th period. Some of your students will choose to go back to their home high school, maybe for a trimester, maybe for all 3. They get to choose, or maybe they're in a pathway course here at EC3. But everybody will have a designated location where they're supposed to go during 4th and 5th period. I get into the benchmarks, but I don't have to get in here too much because everybody here's already got it. Here's the testing stuff. Again, I don't have to do all that type of stuff. I do have contacts down at the bottom of this that you all have access to as well. That's a lot. That's a lot. Now, we're getting ready to get into the fun stuff that's going to take us the majority of our time, which is going to be our scheduling. But before we do that, I want to try to answer any questions that you might have based off of the information that I just provided. You just got to yell it out. Go ahead.
Regarding the FYE class, you mentioned required for an associate's degree. Does the online course satisfy the requirement for the associate's degree?
You talking about not taking FYE?
You said FYE was an online option.
If you choose not to take FYE, and I apologize because I didn't probably say this, FYE is an online course that our students will take in the summertime. If you choose not to take FYE, then we have another class that we use. Our system is changing, it's called Edmentum now, but they can choose to do that instead. That is not for college credit, they will only get high school credit for that. What other questions? Yes, sir.
With the spring and fall breaks being on different weeks, what are our students doing when the college is on fall break?
Absolutely. Most of the time, those professors still come here, and they still teach classes during that designated fall break of the college. Some choose not to, some do some online stuff and present to them. Sometimes they might have a test that we proctor. But a lot of times our professors show up during that, and they take off during our break, and they come teach during theirs. So,
How do you sign up for FYE?
we will take care of all that. Unfortunately, that is not a class that's in dual enroll because of that Council of Secondary Education. So they will actually place every student in once we're ready for that. Yes, thank you. That's a great question. Yes.
Is there a limited space for that? I understand it's an online course.
It's unlimited.
Okay.
Yes.
If you get college credit from an AP exam, could you transfer that over?
That's a great question. Thanks. I know there's a lot of you that are taking AP exams now or maybe even previously took them. We will have a platform that I will set up where you will upload your PDF of all of your AP scores that you get. And I would ask that you just wait till later this summer when all the AP scores come in, so you just send one PDF with all of your scores on there for as many tests you've ever taken. Yes, every class that you take an AP exam for and you score a 3, 4, or a 5, those scores correlate to specific courses. So yeah, absolutely.
So if they are like the English courses, how does that work with having to take English all 4 years?
Yeah, that's a great question. And again, I'm pretty sure that our students up to this point have only taken English Lit.
Yes.
Yeah, English Lit is English 161, not 101 or 102.
Okay.
So, but yeah, they would still take 101 or 102.
Gotcha.
Very back question. This is just for fall, yes sir. We will do, when we do spring, the process changes a little bit, and we actually bring all of our students in, and then we list all of our courses, and the kids then start to pick, ooh, hey, let's take this class together. Me and you, let's sign up for this. And then they start to sign up for classes at the same time. So they get to do that later, but right now they think they want to, like this is my best friend, but they make 3 or 4 other new friends, and they might want to take classes with them down the road. So this process, we kind of do it for them. Spring, they'll have a lot of say-so, and then, man, we let them loose their senior year. So they get to do a whole lot. In the very back.
When is the FYE required? Is it this summer, next summer?
This summer. They will take it going into the junior year. Now, when you say this, I have to point this out because, unfortunately, it has happened. If a student fails that course or earns a D, they're out. Okay? Now, I say that because 99.5% of all of our students earn an A or B. You really have to try to not pass it. And when I say try, that means you didn't do your work. So just do your work. You should be fine. Yes.
So to clarify, we won't have to take like any extra
Yeah, that's, so going into this year, just the FY is the only one that you will need. Now, it is a good question to ask about potentially taking more summer classes down the road. If, going back to part of what I said earlier, we help you schedule 12 to 15 college credit hours a semester. You have to average 15 every semester to get to the 60. So, but if you were just like, hey, I just want 12, I just want 12, I want 12, I want 12, you're never going to have the 60. So you might then say, that's fine, I'll pick up a course in the summer because it works in my schedule. So you may then do that. But the courses that we would take in the summertime would never be like an English or math. Okay, but there might be some other elective that you're looking at that may work for you.
So we take dual credit, some dual credit classes to meet the requirement.
Yeah, all of these have to be dual credit to be, yes. Yeah.
For that FYE, my other son, when he took it, they put him in, I talked to him, they put him in one that opened up a little earlier because we were going on vacation.
Sure.
Will that still just kind of case by case, just kind of like,
I would guess it probably would.
Okay.
Those professors are the same professors that we've had probably,
okay,
and they don't mind to get started a little early. They understand that our kids, are already out, because their summer break's gonna start in May, so they might open it up a little early.
okay.
Yes, right, sir.
So regarding FYE, I know you mentioned the ability to work ahead, but are there like meeting times?
No, fully 100% asynchronous online. There is no dedicated time. It's not like Tuesday at 8 p.m. Nope, it's not like that. Now, there might be Tuesday at 11:59 that the assignment is due, but there is no meeting time whatsoever. It's just assignment due dates. In the very back.
Are these schedules final for?
Yeah, they're in concrete that's starting to cure, but they're not final. We can conversate if we need to. So, yes, right here.
If one decides to take the CIT this summer, does the work rate scholarship apply in the summer?
Yeah, that's a great question. Unfortunately, there are no scholarships for this summer from the state of Kentucky. So, no, they do not cover any of those. What else? In the very back.
Is this so, if somebody finishes an associate from ECTC, and then is it transferable outside of state?
Yeah, so ECTC is a state school. So, yes, it is one from ECTC. The degrees are all transferable anywhere, in-state and out-of-state. What I can tell you is, our public colleges and universities in the state of Kentucky, it's seamless. Okay, state schools in the state of Kentucky, seamless. Our private schools in the state of Kentucky are pretty close to being seamless. Out in the state schools, probably gonna work with you really well. Out-of-state private, I have no clue. But I can tell you that, we have students go everywhere. And so when students report back to me, I haven't had a single student report back to me that's gone out of state that has told me about the difficulties in their courses transferring, I'll tell you that. And so I know we have a lot of military families that, and it's been pretty good. So, if there's a bump in the road, I just need people to let us know. Yes, back here.
I have a question about if, looking ahead, I just look at the University of Kentucky, just pick one. It looks like there's a lot of scholarships that are offered for incoming freshmen at University of Kentucky, but not necessarily as many as they transfer in as say to get their associates. So what have you guys seen as far as that goes, as far as her ability to get a scholarship in 2 years, the amount of hours does or does not take?
Yeah, absolutely. All of our students have never been to college. They are incoming freshmen when they apply for the University of Kentucky, U of L, Western. They do not apply as a transfer student. They are incoming freshmen. They are a dual credit student. They've got a lot of credits and even an associate's degree maybe, but they have never been to college. So they are an incoming freshman and all of those scholarships are available to them. That is a great question. Remember it in a couple of years when you're doing FAFSA and all that fun stuff. And again, we'll put it out again, but they've never been to college. Yes, Pat.
When if a student also fails or something like that for FYE, it will stay on the program.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and I haven't even gotten all that. Grades are permanent. A's, B's, C's, D's, or as ECTC likes to report an E, but it's not excellent, it's a failure. That goes on your permanent college record. That is a failure. Okay? Whatever grade you get, it's permanent. Now, we do work with some students sometimes that maybe get a grade that they're not excited about. And a lot of our students, as high achieving students, may get a C and they're not very excited about it. What do? Some students elect to retake that course. And they get a better grade. And that better grade replaces the bad grade, right? And it fixes your GPA. That is the great part about this. But again, hopefully we don't have to navigate that. But if we do, we will walk your student through all of that. Yes, sir.
Are students also typically taking classes at their home high school? And
Honestly, I think this year of our group, we've got about 100 kids. I think, and again, when you say home high school, I'm also going to lump in EC3, okay, because they do take some after classes. I'd say it's probably 50-50. We encourage our students to stay involved in their home high school. A lot of our students are great leaders here, right? And so, maybe you hold a leadership position in FFA at your school. Well, to hold that position moving into the next school year, you got to take an ag class with them. So stay involved. Keep that ag class 4th or 5th period and stay involved. We encourage you to do that. Don't let potentially pressure saying, all my friends are staying at EC3. Well, you stay involved with what you're doing. So we encourage our kids to do that. We want them to, but we don't force them into it. So.
What about the students that are taking AP courses? So I know that it's required to take Math 150, 155 here. Is that, and they decided to take AP Math 2, is that in lieu, or how does that work?
Yeah, I would not typically have and the one that comes into play, we've had this a couple of times, and I think there's a few students in here that we may talk that are looking to take AP Cal next year, okay? That class, if it stays the same, typically operates like first period at their home high school. So if a kid is taking AP Cal and they want to stay in that course, they can do that. I would not force them to double up in a math, because if they're going to take AP Cal, right, and then that's their math course all year long, then they take the test and they pass, they're getting Calc 1 credits, or potentially Calc 1 and 2, I guess, if they could score. Is it just one, Ms. Thompson? A, B, or BC, that's right, thank you. So we would not tell them they have to take another math course with us. The AP Cal can count as their math, and then once they get that credit, it'll end up on their college transcript. AP Cal is a 5-credit-hour course, so yeah. Now, I'll tell you this. This is the tough part. We have some students do this in the years, but for a student to do AP Cal at their high school, then come here, they have to be able to drive. There's no other transportation. The bus leaves in the morning, brings them here. A bus leaves midday, end of the day. So if a student was taking AP Cal in the first period, they're like, now I get to EC3, how am I going to get there? I don't have a ride. We're stuck. And unfortunately, there's nothing. I wish there was some other way. There's just not. So, yeah.
I also, you said associate degree in certain classes, so if they take AP calculus, get a 5, does that count towards them getting their associate's degree?
Yeah, every credit that they earn goes towards their degree, whether it's an AP credit that calculates over to college credits, or it's just regular dual credit classes. All those credits count towards it. Yes? Yeah, FYE is worth 3 college credit hours. And that Regal? Yeah, thank you. Part of the rule of state of Kentucky, high school credit, you gotta have arts and humanities, right? Humanities is the term of the course listed for college. You must have humanities as a college credit for your associate's degree. So you've taken a high school credit, you have not had a college credit, we're giving you now the college credit. If you have not taken a humanities course in your high school, you're going to get it by taking this college class. So, yeah.
This gentleman here has been very patient.
I'm sorry, which one?
The back here, but no.
Yeah.
So if I decide to take a more science, meaning course, whether it's on my first semester, would I just like double up in the second semester?
Yeah, potentially, or even as we move into your senior year. multiple, so you got 4 semesters, you could take science, everyone, or we could take a look at your things, like, hey, I really want to do this one, then this one, then this one, and we could, just like I said, they're not in concrete, but they're firming up, so we can always take a look at it. Yeah, thanks for being patient. Right here. Our class that we do is Humanities 120. You talking about the high school or here? Yeah, we just offer Humanities 120. It's just the overall picture. For high school. Yes. Your Keys money continues to grow. Okay? So here's the great part about it. And again, speaking into a room of high achieving students, most of you, when you check your Keys account, you've probably earned $500 your freshman year, $500 your sophomore year. You'll continue to do that. For these classes, you get a bonus. Okay? Meaning that you're on Keys money, an A is really worth 5 points on the Keys money scale. Okay? So if you took this program, you got all Bs, you would still get $500 of Keys money because it caps it out. So yes, our students continue to earn Keys money during their junior year and senior year, but they can't get over the abundance of what the state of Kentucky allows them per year.
Are we allowed to use Keys money to pay for these courses?
Unfortunately, no. But if you know any legislators, get in their pocket and start talking to them. It's something that I've been arguing with them for years, and I want to see it change. I've got 2 kids of my own that have already graduated, and collectively between them, we left 3 years of Keys money on the table.
Because it's only Kentucky.
It's only Kentucky schools. There are some agreements with some schools outside the state of Kentucky, but it's only good for undergrad. So once you earn your 4-year degree, you can no longer use Keys money. So these are a lot of great questions. I don't want to hold anybody else up, but I do want to get into the meat of what we're going to do. I will stick around. Our team will stick around to answer any questions. So I want to kind of leave any questions you might have till after we can just talk individually. I want to kind of get into the meat of what we're going to do. All right, so Mr. Coomer is going to direct us back. So if you have your device, whether it's a Chromebook or your cell phone, students, we're going to log in right now to your dual enroll account. Parents, if you drove separate and you've had enough, you can leave. So this is for your students. They got to take care of this part. So. All right, as you get logged in, students, as you get logged in, this is what I want to do, okay? I want to try to help this process a little bit. If you have not created an account, you need to do that immediately. If you have created an account, I need you to log in, and once you get to your account, you're going to go to courses. Now, how many parents in here have already received an email or text message about this? Anybody? You have to approve, parents, and you will have to approve every year, not every semester, every year for your kid to take courses. If you have not received that email or text message, don't worry if you forget, because I'll send messages constantly to tell you to do it. So, all right? Now, the first thing that I need you to do, students, when we get to our courses, is everybody seeing the screen? Okay? By term, I need you to click this all terms, and I need you to change that to fall of 2026. That's the first thing we need to do. You only need to be looking at classes in the term for which you are scheduling. Change that to fall of 2026. All right? Now, once I change to fall of 2026, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to work by keyword. By keyword. So when I'm looking at the schedule, the first class at the top of your list, for instance here, all right, Elijah has MAT 150. So over in the keyword, he's going to type in MAT 150, and then hit enter, and with a space, please, and then you wait. This is not the fastest operation, right? It's like dial-up internet. All right? No, kids don't even know what that is. All right? But when you do it, it minimizes the list and gets more specific. So now I see my list over here, and I see, you know, the chemistry class. I see this MAT 100. Oh, the third one, MAT 150. There's a blue link to click. And I'm going to click that one. And then I'm going to scroll down. The next thing that I'm looking for is on the far right, the section. So again, giving away all Elijah's secrets here. He's 25H3. So he's going to look and find 25H3, and then over on the far right-hand side, because I'm not in the student mode, it should say register.
It's like a white box.
Like a little white box, you click it.
Request this.
Request this course. Request this course. And when you do, it spins, and then another box pops up that says, would you like to pick another one? And you say, yes. And then you go through and you work through that schedule, and you put in those courses based off of those section numbers. It's that simple and that easy. And when you're done, you are finished. Okay? Any questions before I let you loose? When you are done and you get it all checked, if you would like for one of us around the room, all those adults that I introduced you to, we can check you, and then you are free to go. And like I said, I'm going to keep myself available to answer questions. Otherwise, thank you all for coming. I'm excited to have your students next year.
You are coaching. Thank you there.